welcome back to the channel. So for today's video I thought I would do a Q&A because basically I've realised that you guys don't know much about me. So I went to Instagram and asked you guys to ask me anything that you wanted to ask, and there were a lot of questions that you guys were asking. So thank you to everyone who asked me something that they wanted to ask me. And yeah, basically I'm going to sit here and answer them, and I've kind of put them into categories so hopefully they're a bit easier to answer and like for you to navigate through, and I'll leave timestamps down below if you guys want to kind of jump to certain bits of the video. And yeah, basically so far I've got a bank of random questions, some personal questions, accommodation related questions and medical related questions. Now what I might do is pop the university accommodation and the medical school questions into another video, so hopefully it's easier for you guys to have a look at that, whereas this one is going to be a bit of a sit down and chat with me just to get to know who I am. And yeah, so I'll start off by introducing myself. I am V. I am a first year medical student at the University of Sunderland, and I am also a gap year resip as well. So that's basically me summed up in a nutshell, and I'm going to start answering you guys' questions. Okay, so the first question is, if money doesn't grow on trees, why do banks have branches? You know what, that is a good question. It did make me chuckle when I first read the question, and I don't quite know. I really don't. But there's a bit of food for thought. Okay, the next question is comfort movie. Now, I'm not really a movie person. I prefer watching series than watching movies. But out of like the selected few I've seen, I think one of my favourite like really deep ones would have to be The Theory of Everything. And then if not, I love Nativity. Like ever since I discovered Nativity about 2 years ago, I have fallen absolutely in love with it. What is your favourite medical related show / media? So with that one, I have been a hardcore fan of Holby City and Casualty since I was about 7, which is probably why I'm doing this degree. But yeah, I've literally watched it, never missed like an episode until like COVID came, or when they didn't have anything going on. So literally COVID. Holby City and Casualty are like the two that I absolutely enjoy watching, and I really want to start getting into Grey's Anatomy. How many takeaways do you have a week? Too many. As I'm filming this video, I have tried to change my eating habits and my lifestyle habits because they are quite bad. But when I tell you that I had at least one takeaway a day for weeks / months since I've come here because of how lazy I am, yeah, it's not good. But I'm making changes and I'm getting better at it, so we'll see how that goes. What is your favourite ice cream flavour? Hands down, either mint choc chip or pistachio, or like raspberry ripple. Those are goodies. What is your favourite meal to make at uni? Okay, so if I'm not buying a takeaway, then I actually really enjoy anything like rice based. So I make a really banging chili chicken, and a few of my friends would say so as well. What is your favourite champ? Now, this person who asked me this question does play League of Legends, as do I. So my favourite league champion must be Morgana, because do I ever really play anyone apart from her? But if not, I really like Ziggs because he's little and I'm little. So yeah. What is your go-to from Starbucks? Now, if I'm getting a hot drink, it's probably a white chocolate mocha. If I'm getting a cold drink, it's one of the frappuccinos. So it's either the caramel, the Java chip or the strawberries and cream. The next question is, Doctor, are you scared of apples? I know who asked this question. Am I scared of apples? I like to hope not. An apple a day keeps the doctor away. So maybe I am, maybe I'm not. I don't quite know. Okay, what is your Desert Island album? Now, I listen to very much the same music on repeat, so if I could choose a playlist of mine that I like, then I would choose my emo playlist from when I was like 15. But my favourite album is definitely, oh, I've forgotten the name of it. It's called Madness, and it's by Sleeping with Sirens, and it literally has like all of the songs that I've loved since I was a little emo back in the day to now. So that'd be one of my favourite albums. Next question is, can you be mine? And yes, definitely. I know who asked me this, and I love you to pieces. So the next question is, what is your favourite month? And I'll be a bit biased here, but it's genuinely June, because it's summer, my birthday's right at the start, and even though I have had an exam on every day since, on every birthday that I've had, it's almost like June is also the mark to the end of your exams, and at June you are literally free from everything and you've got such a long summer. So yeah, June is my favourite month. Next question is, do you believe in zodiac and star signs? I think that's a really good question. I kind of do and I kind of don't. If I'm scrolling through Instagram and I see like those posts about like your star sign and whatever, then I'll have a look at it. But like, I feel like sometimes like those little like descriptions about star and zodiac signs are like so vague that you can kind of relate it to any sort of experience in your life. So yeah, I'm not quite sure. I mean, I'll give it a good think, but nothing I kind of strongly believe in. Okay, the next question is, what music have you been studying to recently? Now, when I'm studying, I like listening to stuff on repeat just so I don't have to think too much about the song. So far it's either been I Can't Stop Me by Twice. If not, I'll just pop some lo-fi beats in the background because I just feel like I'm in a coffee shop and I spent most of my gap year and my A-levels just studying in coffee shops, so yeah. And the last question in the random category is, what is your favourite Pokemon? Now, I don't know many, but when I was playing Pokemon Go back in year 13, I really had a kind of obsession with Oddish, Bulbasaur, and I mean Pikachu's so cute. So okay, so the next category I'm going to have in this video, and probably the last one if I'm going to separate my med one and my uni ones, it's the personal category. So a couple of people were just kind enough to ask me, how are you and how are you doing, and I think I'm doing okay. The degree is stressful and, you know, we're in the middle of a pandemic, hopefully near the end of it even, and I think if anything I'm going to try, well, I'm going to just say I'm trying to do as well as I can, and I think that's what most people will say. And honestly, to those two people who asked me how I am, my heart goes out to you. Like, I don't know about you, but like hearing the nicest compliment from the most randomest person definitely means a lot more than just the casual I love you from your friends or the how are you. And yeah, I just want to say thank you, and I hope you guys are doing okay too. So yeah. The next question is also kind of similar to that, but how are you mentally at the moment? And I think I kind of covered that. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say that my life is perfect and I'm happy, and you know, you see the most of me on camera like being like happy and excited and just kind of a bit meh. But most of the time I'm tired and exhausted from this degree. Like, it's not that it's difficult, but there is so much to do that I'm constantly working and doing work and just trying to get my head down and doing work, which is easier said than done because like what's the word? Like, sitting down is like not procrastinating does not come easy to me. Like, I procrastinate so much, but like I have these bursts of energy and I think that's kind of what gets me motivated to do this degree. But mentally I'm just trying to stay okay, and I think that's what everyone can do, and just trying to fill myself with things that make me happy in life, whether it's calling back home, talking to my sister, talking to my flatmates, doing a little like cute flat night like we've just done cheese boards, and yeah, it's just trying to make the most out of such a difficult situation that we're in at the moment. The question is, what do you like to do in your spare time? And currently I am either going to the library, which is very tragic but true. I either just spend time with my flatmates because I absolutely love them and I love them to bits, or I either watch some Netflix or I game a bit. So I usually either, well, at the moment I'm currently watching Sherlock again and I'm watching Suspicious Partners. And in terms of gaming, I only really ever play League of Legends, but if my friends are back home and playing CSGO, then I'll play CSGO with them as well. Okay, what is your favourite thing to do at uni? Now, I'd love to answer that as truthfully as I could, but I don't really know what I enjoy. It's very much doing it to pass time or doing it to procrastinate. So my favourite thing to do at uni, I think, is just to kind of get out in the fresh air. And I wish I did this more than I do, but like we live right by the river and I'd love to do a few walks down there and every time, and I like to walk a lot more because this city is so quiet and very different to where I came back from London that it's just, I would really love to make the most of it. So I'm going to try my best to kind of get out a bit more, take some fresh air in and go on a few more walks. The next question is, who or what is your biggest inspiration? Now, it's hard because I think I want to be like someone, but then I don't want to be them, so it's very hard to kind of take up your inspiration. But I think I take a lot of inspiration from the hardworking people that I surround myself with. So a lot of people that I worked with during my gap year, seeing how like hardworking they are, seeing how they've got their life under control, having families, like doing so much and still being so happy, like I think my biggest inspiration is anyone who is happy, hardworking, and just comes across as they have got their life together. And I aspire to just be like financially stable, mentally stable, be happy, just surround myself with people that I love. So really, there's not really one specific person, but it's more just like this collection of attributes that I would love to aspire to be. So yeah. The next question is kind of to do with my gap year. So what was it like in your gap year, and how was your what was your gap year experience? So I took a gap year at the end of year 13. I don't even know anymore. Year 13, because I didn't quite get the grades to get into med school first time round. So I took a year out. It was a very, very unplanned decision. So, and being my parents wouldn't have let me travel, so most of my gap year was basically just working and studying for my exams. So in September I was lucky enough to get a job at Specsavers and work with customers there and patients there, and I learned a lot of the communication skills that I needed to help me become a doctor through there, so I'm very grateful for that experience. And I would start work, like it'd be basically a 9 to 5, and I'd come home and I'd revise, and it was just constantly like that. And I also passed my driving test during my gap year and got my car, so I was very fortunate to be able to do all of that and like support myself by myself, with the fact that I had a job and had a car, and just did a lot and tried to kind of live as an adult before going into uni. Because I feel like, even though at the time the gap year probably felt like the worst thing in the world, looking back on it, and just that moment that I got into med school, it really really hit home just how much that 1 year did not matter in like the large scheme of things. Like, I'm at university and most of my friends are my age, or their resits or their gap years, or a lot of people are graduates. Like, it's so crazy to think that back in year 12 I thought age would be such a big thing, like, oh, I'm going to be a year behind everyone, I'm not going to be able to see my friends. But in reality, I think you just have to make time for the people that you want to see, and age literally does not matter when you're in med school. Like, when you're at uni, like, people are people, you don't really see the age in any of it. So yeah. And obviously COVID hit during the gap year, so things did go a bit downhill. And if you guys want me to make a video about my gap year experience and why I actually did in a bit more detail, then I'll do that as well. But I'm gonna keep this short and sweet. But all in all, it was a very, very good experience. Good and bad, but very good to say the least. Do you have any regrets at uni? And the next question is, how do you make friends when it's so hard to meet people? Now, one of my biggest regrets at uni is quite frankly not going out as much during freshers. Even though it was a COVID freshers, the fact that a lot of people made a lot of friends during that time. I think now being in like the third lockdown, like, or the second one even, it was so hard to be, as in I love my flat to bits, don't get me wrong, but it's so hard to live around the same 4 other people every day and not be able to see many other people. And I'm so grateful that I've been able to make friends by reaching out to people, by seeing people in anatomy, by talking to people that I kind of, you know, meet at the street, see someone. Like, it is very nice that we get that, and I would have loved to have made a lot more friends during freshers, but obviously things were difficult at the time, so I think that's what I regret the most. But yeah, I think it's very hard to make friends during a pandemic, but honestly, like, the easiest thing you could do is kind of reach out to people and just be like, hey, when it's all over, do you want to grab a coffee? Or hey, do you want to join us in this, like, I don't know, like a virtual thing? And I think it's just taking baby steps with friendships. Like, it's not easy being in a pandemic, so I think if anything I'm not gonna treat it as too hard of a regret, because COVID was such a big thing. And the next question is, how tall are you? I am, quite frankly, 4'11". I'm not 5 foot, I'm very small, and a lot of my friends are very tall, especially my friends from sixth form. So yeah, I am 4'11" and a very teeny weeny little person. Okay, do you miss Specsavers? Yes, I do. To anyone of you guys watching from Specsavers, I miss you guys to bits. I think about you guys every single day, and I really miss working with you guys. I loved you all to bits. You were like a family to me, and yeah. So that is the end of the video. I really hope you enjoyed just getting to know me a bit more, and hopefully, yeah, you enjoyed this video. So if you did, please give it a huge thumbs up and subscribe down below. I'm very close to 100 subscribers, so I really appreciate just you guys clicking that button down below. And yeah, if you want to just I don't know, ask me anything, then just put it in the comment section below. And if you've got any med school related things or university related things you want to ask me, then just pop them in the comments below as well, and I will come to you guys with a new video based off that. So yeah, thank you guys, goodbye.